Hello architects, and welcome back to another RPG Architect tutorial. My name is Bert, and today we'll be tackling another staple in gaming in general. This is not just a first-person game mechanic. This is all over the place, and what that thing is a dash or a run mechanic. So it's going to be real easy. I'm going to show you two different ways to set it up, like the bare bones basic setup, and then we will also do a more advanced one that is dependent upon stamina. So let's jump into it. Let's go open up our database, come on to virtual keys. Let's name our new virtual key. We're going to call it run. We're going to add a new mapping. I'm going to use the left shift key. All right, and this is going to be real quick and easy for this first one. All you need to do is in the pressed script, set up a physics alter physics property. Target should be party. Uncheck use as delta value. Check your speed X. I'm going to set mine to tree fitty. Check your speed Z or Z. I'm going to change mine to tree fitty. You don't have to do Y. That is more of a that is your vertical axis. That would be for like jumping, and that will be at a later date, not today. But just set those two. Copy and paste this over into released script and change the values back to 100%. Boom, donezo. Call it a day. You got a run mechanic. Let me bring it on over here, show you guys. Looking around, I'm walking normal speed, everything's fine. I hold down left shift, I start running. I'm gonna let go of left shift, boom, I stop running. There we go, easy peasy. I hit it again, stop, beep, 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 beep. There we go, cool. Very simple, very quick, very easy. But what if you wanted to do something a little bit more technical? If you're doing like a horror game or something and you have stamina for your characters, how would you set that up? Well, we're going to show you today. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to come to the ongoing script. Now what I want to do is I don't want this to be tied to frames per second. I want to time this or tie this to time elapsed. So, you know, as long as you're holding the button, your stamina is depleting basically. So the way we do this, so we're going to save value, data manipulation, save value. The source is going to be game, your target or whatever this is, property, that's what it is going to be last logic update interval seconds, okay? And then we are going to target that with a new variable. We'll select a number 4 here, it is empty. You can call it runtime, you can call it dash time, whatever. I'm just gonna call it game interval because that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so hit okay. We're gonna set up a conditional branch now. Control flow conditional. The condition is going to be a global variable. We need to create a new variable. This one is going to be called stamina. And you can see the value is already set to 2 for my tests, but you can set your stamina value, your baseline here. I'm going to start with 2. It seems like a good number for me for what I'm doing. But you can adjust that value. Basically, the stamina and the game interval are going to be working together, so fine tune it how you would like, but ours is going to be set to 2 today. Now, if your stamina is greater than 0, so if you have stamina left, then what we need to do is to change variable, take our stamina and subtract a global variable, subtract game interval. So the longer you hold it down, it'll continue to drain stamina. Does that make sense? Change variable, stamina minus game interval, okay? And that way it's not tied to frames per second, you know, so the hardware won't affect, you know, play speed or run speed or anything like that. Otherwise, if stamina is 0, what you want to do is just copy and paste this here. You just want to set your speed back down to, oops, there we go. You want to set your speed back down to 100%. Boom. Now that's a good chunk of it, but we need to set up a way for the stamina to replenish, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and apply to save what I just did there. I'm gonna create another entity definition in case I need to reference this on multiple maps. We'll call this stamina recovery, okay? All right, so we'll add a script. Let's call this first script. We'll just call it, well, I say first script, it's the only script. I don't know, stamina depleted, stamina man, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we need to set a condition, global variable, stamina. If stamina is less than 2, so if your stamina has dropped, we are going to change variable. We're going to select our stamina variable, and we are going to add, let's do like 0.1. Let's just do 0.1. 0.1. There we go. I'm gonna set up another conditional. We're gonna do stamina, global variable. If stamina somehow or another is greater than 2, we're going to change the variable and we're just going to reset it back to 2 equals 2, okay? That's just, you know, if somehow the math gets all weird and like as you're recovering it goes over 2, it's just going to reset it back to our default value, okay? And one more thing I want to set is if you release the run key before your stamina depletes completely, you want it to start recovering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a global switch that tells me, global switch, I'll just use number 4 again. We're going to call this is running. So if is running, if the player is not running, then it's going to trigger this. And now the last thing you may have figured out we're going to do is come back to our virtual key of run. If we press the button, we are going to change switch. Is running is going to be on, and if we release, is running is going to be off, okay? That makes sense? So we got our entity definition, stamina recovery, and if the stamina is below 2 or is running is off, then it triggers our recovery script, okay? Oh, and then one more thing here, make sure you set your interaction for stamina recovery. Just set it to automatic so that when you place it on maps, it automatically runs. And before I show this off, I just threw together a user interface here of stamina. I forgot to label this text, sure. So we're gonna have the stamina number displaying in the top left. We also have a little stamina bar here. The way I did that, if you've watched my other UI stuff, you should know, but we created this text element. I set my font to the font size. You set where you align it. There's the placement down here, just dropping it down from the corner a little bit, and the escape code, whatever it's called, I can't remember, but you just put in, I typed in stamina, and then this little code here is calling the value of my global variable, so global variable 5. And then with gauges, it's a little bit differently. It's the current value is my global variable 5, and the way you put it in is like this rather than the greater than, less than. You have to type out global and then put the brackets like that. Set your minimum or maximum value. Set your graphics. It's not the prettiest thing I've set up before, but it'll be fine for right now. Fill strategy, I just did stretch. I could do percentage, I guess. Maybe that'll be better. Alignment middle, so it's gonna be like depleting down towards the center. Horizontal orientation. This is just cosmetic stuff. If you're not sure how I did this, then check out some of my my user interface stuff. But yeah, that's not what this tutorial is about. I'm just showing you really quick that that's what I have set up. And lastly, we need to set up our entity reference. We're going to set stamina recovery right here. And we need to do one more. We didn't create a reference for it, but we are going to run this automatically. Let's call it overlay. Call script name overlay also. Automatic. Just need it to bring up the stamina overlay that we just created that I showed you. And then I don't want this to keep running constantly, so let's set up a local switch. I'm sorry if I'm going kind of fast through this. This isn't what this tutorial is about. You guys should know how to do this if you watch my other stuff. If not, we're setting up a local switch that if it is off, it will run this automatically, and then after it runs that, we are going to turn that switch, local switch, we're going to turn it on, and we will add another script here where local switch is on, nothing happens. Okay, we'll call this one be gone. I don't know. All right, that should be fine. Oops, let me define which switch it is. And that way it's not just constantly triggering this one, right? That's all I was doing. It's just good practice. But anyway, we should be good to go now. Let's run this bad boy and see what we got going on here. So you can see we got our stamina listed in the top corner. I'm walking around. It is fine. It is not depleting. I have good cardio. I'm going to start running. Hold down left shift. Stamina is going. The bar is depleting. And as soon as I let go, it recovers. There we go. If I let go before it depletes, it recovers again. There you go. And you can toy with, or you can mess around with the values a little bit. You know, if you want your stamina to increase, you could adjust the value of your stamina itself. You could adjust the value of the what did I call it? The time interval, game interval. You could increase that, multiply it. You know, you get some math problems going on there, and you can increase the rate at which your character runs or how long they're able to run, stuff like that. But this should be enough to get you guys started to, like we did the very basic setup of a run mechanic, and then that one was a little bit more complex. So I think that's going to do it for me today. This should give you guys some good stuff to work with over the next week here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and a subscribe. Comment down below what you thought, what you're going to do with your first-person project. Be sure to grab your copy of RPG Architect if you've not already. We are still in early access on Steam, but we are well on our way now to version 1.0. The goal is to have it is to get to 1.0 by the end of the year, end of 2024. That's the goal. So we'll see what happens, you know, but we are well on the way. Locke is making a ton of progress these past couple months here, and yeah, I think that's going to do it for me today, y'all. Thank you again so much for watching. As always, you have been amazing. I have been Bert, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.